Okay, so good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the next of our series of interviews with the winners of the West Midlands PA Awards 2020. And I am delighted to be joined today by Penny Neary from Eversheds Sutherland, who was our Events and Project Manager of the Year last year. So, welcome, Penny. How are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic. Yeah, all good. Looking forward to the weekend ahead. This is being recorded if you are watching this back just before the bars and restaurants reopen outside next week on the 12th. So I think myself and Penny were having a catch up just before this meeting about our exciting plans. So I think it's going to be a great weekend to look forward to. But it's great to see you today. How have you been? How's things for you at the moment? You all right?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, settled at home as have been for over 12 months now. Just adapting to a new way of life, kind of taking each day as it comes.
No, awesome. Well, can you give, just for the purpose of the people watching today, can you give them a little bit of information about your background, like your career background, where you started, kind of where you are now? That would be great.
When I left school, I went to do A levels at college, not knowing what I wanted to do. I had an interest in law, but I didn't know what to do from there. 2 years on, after 2 years later, after completing them, I still didn't know what to do. And my law lecturer put me in touch with somebody who ran a legal secretary diploma as a different avenue into law. So I did that as an adult course for 12 months. And then during that course, I actually got a placement at Eversheds, where I went on work experience every Friday. I think it was over about a 12-week period, to gain experience and just part of the course. And I never left. I did that from March through till October. When I started full time, there was a position that came available. I was interviewed along with some others and I got the job. And then, so almost 10 years on, I'm still here, taking on different opportunities that they've given me along the way.
That's awesome. I remember my work experience is the Ramada Hotel in Solihull. I remember that, and I got in trouble for putting a fire, holding a door open with fire extinguisher. But I've worked in the hospitality industry ever since that day. And it's fantastic that you've been with Eversheds for so long, for 10 years. That's fantastic.
It's quite a story actually. I do forget sometimes how long it's been, but yeah, they kind of said to me, "There's always work to be done if you want to come back after like the work experience program finished." So I kept going back, and they couldn't get rid of me, and yeah, I'm still
Awesome.
they still can't get rid of
Yeah.
me.
Well, I think it's been we've as a as a forum and as a regional awards, we've been really grateful for the support that has been shown by Eversheds over the past few years, particularly supporting their assistant community. So how did you personally hear about the awards?
I was first invited to the awards in 2018 with some clients when I went to the awards night when it was at Resorts World, and I hadn't heard about the awards really before that. I didn't really know they existed, so I went along to this awards night, and it was just fabulous. I was couldn't believe that I'd been missing out on it and I hadn't heard about it. It was such a great night, and it was just so nice to be in a room full of the same kind of people as you, and it just being celebrated. So it kind of went on from there. And then 2019, I was part of in the finals, to part of their team of the year. And then 2020, I was a finalist and winner myself, which was amazing.
Fantastic. So that year then, I know obviously you went through the team, you had the team of the year together. I mean, what was, just going back to that, what was the buzz like with that when you were all up for team of the year together?
The buzz was great. We were all such a close team anyway, but we was all looking forward to obviously celebrating something together. And we were very much of them. We didn't expect to get to the final. We didn't expect to be nominated. We just kind of go in, we do our job. We work very hard. We all work closely together and support each other. But it's just our job for us. So to be nominated was one thing. So to make it to the final and all be together
Yeah.
was really nice. It was a really nice buzz for the team to be
Yeah.
together and actually have something to do for us as well, because we hadn't had that before. Obviously, we'd heard of award ceremonies for the team in different sectors, but yeah, it was really nice. It was nice buzz as a team, and then it's just continued from there. because we
Yeah,
didn't win that year, but obviously Fiona won PA of the year, so it was a celebration all round, which was
yeah.
really, really nice, and it's kept the buzz going.
Well, that was the last time actually we
Yeah,
were in a room together,
yeah,
actually celebrating the awards, because last year we did everything virtually. But with your when you the events and projects manager of the year category, so we've always had the past 2 years we've had an events category, but we evolved that slightly to include project manager, because so many people, events I've always classed, it is a project. You're working on a project. There's lots of different terminologies with project managers and the projects that they look at within the office, or moving people into the office, moving them out of the office, organizing events, bringing
yeah,
people together. There's so many different things that fall
yeah.
under that umbrella. So were you nominated, or did you make a self-nomination?
I was nominated. I wouldn't have, I was quite shocked and a little bit worried when I was nominated, because I wouldn't have probably put myself forward for that category, because I thought, well, I'm not an events manager, I'm not a project manager, I'm a legal PA. Like, I can't go for that category. I do loads of events, but I just do it all outside of my job role because I enjoy it. It's a passion I've got alongside my day job. So I wouldn't have thought that I could put myself forward for that. So I was a little bit worried that it was not going to go anywhere, because it wasn't actually my full-time job. But then when I was given the application form that had been put forward for myself, I was like, yeah, this is me, this is what I do, and I can do this, and why shouldn't I be recognised for this? Just because it's not my day job, so to speak, it's still something I do and something I put so much work and effort and energy into.
No, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, we've had it before. We're in a busy office environment. One of the managers will come up and be like, "Oh, I need to organise an event. Can you do this for me?" And as you say, it might not be, you might not have ever done it before. It might not be in your job description, but you know that you've got to try and do everything you can to make it happen and make it amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think it's always, when I always talk about the awards, it's always challenging our mindset to think, okay, that's my job role, but what do I do extra? What
Yes,
do I do that's not expected of me? Because that's what makes, that's exactly why we have these categories, because you might not have the official event manager title for Eversheds Sutherland, but that's not what this is. These awards are recognizing PAs,
yeah,
EA, and executive support staff for the things that they do outside of going above and beyond what
yeah.
they do in their normal day-to-day role. So how are you, like, you read the nomination form, and how are you feeling after that? Were you feeling nervous, excited? What was kind of going through what was going to happen next? What was kind of going through your mind?
After I'd read the form, I was less nervous, still nervous, but less nervous and more excited, and more, it just filled me with so much confidence reading what somebody else had written about me. And there's things on there that I wouldn't have thought of that I do. I said, oh, it's just part of my job. I just do it with my eyes closed, kind of thing. But I was like, no, I do this, I do that. Like, it's quite a lengthy list. Like, I have ran some really successful events, and it's all been alongside my day job. It's not my day job. So I've always made it work. I've always delivered, no matter whenever it's been, bring it, like for the office events, I used to bring stuff home and make it and then cart it back into the office. Like, it's just something I've enjoyed. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. I can put myself through the interviews. Why not? Somebody else has
Yeah.
recognised me. So why am I not giving myself the credit that somebody else has given me?
No, absolutely. And from your point of view and from your perspective, again, we were catching up just before the call, and I said, I I'm so passionate about the awards. I want everyone to enter. I want everyone to be recognised. But me stepping aside from the process and hearing from you directly about your own personal experience, how did you feel? Can you describe to everybody what the process was like, and what sort of things you needed to do, and how you felt kind of each and part and step of the way?
Yeah, I was really anxious about the process because I'd done previous interviews and it was quite nerve-wracking. But then I was being interviewed on behalf of a team, so I felt like I had to represent a team, which is quite a lot of pressure to put yourself forward and think what you do as part of the team, but what the team do as well. So when it come to being an interview for myself, I thought, well, if I mess it up, I'm only messing it up for myself, aren't I? But the interviews were really nice, and they were really interactive and really fun. and really friendly, and it didn't feel like an interview at all, because it could have gone either one way or another. It could have felt more pressure being virtual, because you can't gauge people as well. Like it's different. It's just different, isn't it? Virtually trying to interview somebody. But it was really friendly. The judges were amazing. They really encouraged me. It was just like a natural conversation like this, and all of a sudden I just found myself talking about everything I did, and it just came naturally, and it took all the pressure away.
No, awesome. No, definitely. I think that's something that's really important to me is, when we're looking and working with partners and we're working with judges and, amazing industry leaders, industry professionals, is that they want all of you to just do amazingly well. And it's so difficult. You're all incredible. It is an incredibly difficult job to win, because we hear some amazing stories about the things that you all do. And
Yeah.
when we come off after the judging day, the judges, we all have a call together, and we don't discuss anybody individually. We just are buzzing about the whole process and how it's made us feel. And we just hope that the way we feel is how you all feel as well after the process as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, definitely, because we're all in the same line of work, so to speak, but every company is different, but every PA has their own little quirks as well. Everybody works that a bit differently. So it's not until you meet people and share things like that and actually sit down and talk about it with someone else, not just talk about it with yourself, you're like, oh, I do quite a lot, and I really enjoy working that way. So it's definitely a great it's a great thing to do for yourself, to really make you believe in yourself a little bit more. I think that's what I found, definitely.
yeah, awesome. And you work for a really big legal firm. What was the reaction like? Because at that time we were all still in the office. Well, for part of it we were still in the office, weren't we?
Yes.
And then
Very
part
good.
of it, and then obviously COVID hit in March, and we all were working from home. So how was the reaction? What was the kind of reaction like from your colleagues?
But it was all after we received the nominations. Then when we went virtually, I was like, "Oh, I've gotten away with this. I could keep this one under the radar without being recognised too much," because I was a bit nervous and a bit anxious about it. But then once the finalists had been announced and all the drum up to the event, like everybody really got involved, and everybody. I think more people actually attended the awards being virtually, because they were able to do it on the evening. And then everyone was wishing me good luck, and I had flowers delivered and everything, and it was really nice. And I was like, oh, this is really happening now, like everybody knows about it. And then after the awards, when I'd won, obviously that wasn't going to go down very quietly either, so I was featured on emails both locally across the Birmingham office and across the whole of the UK. I was asked to feature in a piece of a UK-wide newsletter, so it didn't go down quietly. It was great. It was really nice to be celebrated as support staff, not just as myself, and as doing a job doing something that I do in terms of events, for the passion of it mainly, not just because it's my job. So
Yeah.
that was really nice.
No, definitely. I think, this year we've changed some of the names of the categories, but events are still very much in there. So if someone was watching this and they thought, like I've really gone and done so many things outside of my job role, to help and support other people, can you give some people some of the examples of kind of the things that you've done in the past?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think when I actually first started getting involved in it. We used to host a lot of client dinners, which I used to organise, but I just thought that was part of my job, because I worked with partners in the team that hosted client dinners. That was fine, but it was when I really got into, and the team Christmas parties were always a hit, and I put myself forward one year to organise that, and it went down really well. But I started organising like the large office parties, which would be for like 200 people across the whole office, and that's when I really got my creative side flowing, and I was designing all my own centerpieces, and from everything from booking the venues to making the invites myself. So I really got stuck into it from then, which is all of that's obviously gone a little bit quiet throughout COVID, but I've organised endless team drinks, team meetings, all virtually. And Christmas I decided to mix it up a little bit, inspired by the box I had for the PA Awards. And I contacted the company and they just couldn't take any more orders on because they were so busy. So I thought I'm going to make up my own little hampers. So I took it upon myself in a very tight deadline to make up 45 hampers to be sent out to the team, to enjoy alongside a virtual quiz that we did at Christmas. And it was just so greatly received that all the efforts that are put into it in the lead up to it's all worth it, because everybody really enjoys receiving things and participating in these events. And it was so much different because I'd kind of built up the anticipation to tell them that there was like snacks and drinks included, and they're like, how are you going to get this to us, what are you going to do? And I was like, it's all a surprise.
And well
So,
done, well done for battling your way through the Christmas postage, because I know how challenging that was as
yeah,
well.
that was next level event organising, I think.
But I think that's what, in all the things that you talked about, you've gone and organised all these events, but the personal touches that you added, designing your own centerpieces for a big event, I know I mean, I'm not that creative. So I just haven't got that attention to detail, but that's a big job. And invitations, personalized boxes, it all fits in with that personal touch, which I think is just really, really important. So although we've kind of we didn't get the chance to have the face-to-face awards night, how did you feel? Like, we got halfway through the process and we thought to ourselves, initially we thought, right, we're going to just postpone till 2021. And then as we were getting as the year was going on and COVID was getting worse, I just said, I really want to try and do this year. And I've never done a virtual event on that scale ever. I don't think a lot of people have. We all got thrown into this world of virtual. But how did you find the awards night? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it was lovely. It was really nice. We all got dressed up as well in fancy dress, because obviously there was a theme to it, which was the first time I'd got dressed up during lockdown, probably the only time. And it was just really nice. It just wasn't. It felt different to all those other virtual events where you'd sat in front of your computer for that little bit longer each day. Like, kind of went off. I got myself ready. I had myself a drink. And then we logged on, and then we were all like, all my team was supporting myself and one of my colleagues that was nominated as well. We were all together on like a Teams call, watching the awards on one screen and Teams on the other. So it was just like we were all together. It was really, really nice. And obviously all the hard work and the filming that went into the awards, I wasn't expecting that. It was absolutely fabulous.
Well, we had when we decided to do it, we could get the venue and we had 3 dates. And one of them, when we went from brief, we had 5 days. I mean, as an event organizer, you would know the panic that went into that. It was the Monday and we could film on the Friday, and thank goodness we did, because we went into lockdown on the Monday, and so we wouldn't have been able to do it at all. And it was panic stations, but we put everything we could into that, and we thought we could use the lockdown period for all the editing and stream it out. And what better way when we were in a complete lockdown to be able to stream that together and share that together as well. So I'm really glad that you enjoyed that.
It was definitely as fabulous as what the events normally are.
Oh, thank you. So if you were, if anyone's watching this today and they're, sat at the desk and they're thinking, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I might go for this. What would be your advice to anybody watching if they were thinking about entering or thinking about making a nomination?
Just go for it. Like, if you're nominating yourself or if you're nominating somebody else, you deserve it. They deserve it. If you're nominating somebody, you won't know how much it means to them until you've put that through. It really would. For me, to be nominated, it really did mean a lot, and it really boosted my confidence. And it's not something I would have done myself, because I'm not a confident person like that. But now, having done it, I think, well, why wouldn't I have put myself forward for that? Because so you should be your own supporter, kind of thing. Definitely just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. but you've got such a great network to become involved in, because if I hadn't have been involved in the nominations, I wouldn't have met yourself necessarily, and the great group of people that are behind it. You meet so many people, so many candidates, people alongside you. It's just such a great way to meet new people and to just join such a great network.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and we haven't quite finished with you all just yet, because we were out and about yesterday looking at venues for this year's awards, but we are going to do a night where we bring all of the finalists and the winners from last year and all of the shortlisted people from this year all together for one big party. So fingers crossed.
Amazing.
It will be amazing. And also, Penny, we will be having a day, we'll be inviting you all the finalists from last year get certificates, they'll have their photo taken, the winners will claim their trophies, all the sponsors, the partners will be there, and you will have this.
Oh, I didn't know we were getting one of those this year. Oh, that's lovely.
I didn't want to send it to you in the post. I want to actually give this to you. And I just think that, you know, if you can have your photo taken, that's what you would have had on the night.
Yes.
We want to try and organise that for you. So
Oh,
we will be back in touch in due course. But
it's just a gift that keeps on giving, this one.
but I just want to say to you, massive congratulations again. Thank you for being so supportive of the awards. Thank you for everything you do, you know, to spread the word with all your colleagues, and all the words of encouragement that you and Fiona have had at Eversheds and all your colleagues. We're really grateful, and we cannot wait to hopefully see you very soon. So thanks for joining today.
Thank you so much for everything you do as well. It's great. And
no worries.
Can't wait to see you soon.
Yeah, and enjoy the beer garden, everyone.
Enjoy.